viewers, you're welcome to my channel. This is the first time of seeing me. My name is Emeka, the Chief Priest, also known as Mazi Chukwemeka. On this channel, I discuss spiritual tips and how people live a spiritual active life. Today, I want to talk about why you need to leave religion if you want to practice spirituality. The reason why I'm saying this, I don't want to romance words. I don't want to decorate it or make it look fancy. I want to say it the way it is. The truth of the matter is that if you want to sweep your house, and each time you're sweeping, it looks as if the house is not clean, you need to do an overhaul removal of items from that house. You're just assuming that that house you're in, you're having snake attacks or you're having reptile attacks, and there's something that is biting you inside that house and you can't find a way of removing it. The best thing is to remove the items from the whole house. Remove the whole items inside our house. We call it overhauling. You do an overhaul removal of items, and that's the only way you can be able to clean the house and find out what is trying to harm you. Why am I saying so? So many of us were raised with religious doctrines. So many of us were raised in religion. But today, religion is keeping us in perpetual suffering. It has kept us in perpetual confusion. So many people don't want to leave religion because of what family members will say. They don't want to leave religion because of what friends or business associates will say. So many people don't know what they're doing. And that is why I said one of the mistakes you ever make in life is abandoning your origin, abandoning your ancestors. When we talk about ancestral veneration, it's very deep. When we talk about ancestral veneration, it's very deep. Because you have a blood of your ancestors in you. So anything you're doing, if you speak against your ancestors, you are speaking against yourself. For those people that are prayer warriors that always want to bind and cast, you can't bind and kill. It's like you're trying to kill yourself by yourself. It's like you're trying to buy yourself. Let me use the normal word. So the day you, what we call self-realization, the day you understand yourself, you realize that you are a product of your environment. You are not an external support. You're not an external support. So if you want to see your ancestors, some of you don't know what ancestors look like. If you want to see your ancestors, go to your mirror and look at yourself. When you look at yourself in that mirror, that is how your ancestors look. The only problem is that the only thing different is that you have a little of this, a little of that, because you know it takes two people to form a child. But it's still the same thing as long as those two people came from that same environment. Even if one of them is outside, that means you still have a bit, one part. That is why some of these our blacks that are living in the US and the UK, some of them are realizing that, oh, I have a link with so place. I have, because they've done their DNA test, and through this DNA test, they are able to understand that I have my biological formation came from a particular environment. My descendants came from certain environments. I am part this, part that. So that is why I'm telling each and every one of you, the day you start solving your problem is when you found who you are. Self-realization, that is what is going to help you. But when you're beating around the bush and you're trying to please others, you are denying yourself of the things you're supposed to know. Let me tell you about our ancestors. My own ancestors, they are naturalists. They believe in the powers of nature. They believe that nature has power. My own ancestors believed that nature has powers. In the olden days, if somebody gets sick or somebody is believed to have been um, hit with a charm, or the person had a terrible, incurable sickness, the chief priest might ask the person to go and hug a particular tree. There are sacred trees we have. Maybe in the next video I'm going to do about sacred trees. I'm going to show you what sacred trees look like. There are sacred trees. There are sacred trees that will marvel you about nature. There's a particular tree that bears don't perch on it. That's to show you the mystery. There's a water in my place that a woman, when you're passing that water, you will never lift your skate. It may make you become barren or make you to stop seeing your menses. As a woman, there's a particular stream, one small tiny stream, that is very powerful till date. So, if you don't know where you come from, whatever people say about you becomes true. But if you know where you come from, nobody will come and lie and deceive you and walk away. You know that these people are looking after something from you. So that is why I'm telling each and every one of you, if you're an African, you're a different breed. If you're an African, you're a special breed. Don't let the Africanness in you to go because you've started seeing money. So many of you have traveled abroad. So many of you are staying in the diaspora. And when I talk about Africa, I'm still including the Caribbeans. 100 years from now, or let me just say, 130 years from now, you're not going to be existing. By that time, will you be happy if you're in the spirit realm and you come around your family members and you see them mocking and cursing you? How will you feel? Because I'm saying this because 120 years or 130 years from now, you will never be existing. So how would you feel if your offsprings are speaking against you, are cursing and binding you and saying that you're the cause of their problem? Rather, they're supposed to be praying and saying that you should wish them well in whatever they're doing. So it means that if whatever you did to your own parents or your grandparents, your own children will do it to you. Whatever goes around comes around. So that is why I'm saying self-realization is a day you realize yourself, that you're not different from that nature, that environment you're in. And every environment have their own saviors. Every environment have their own savior. Every family have their own savior. There's one person or two people or three people that are appointed, that are coming to help solve a particular problem. That whatever situation you're passing through today, there's a reason why it is happening. And I've likened this to an examination hall. I've been saying this a lot of the times. I said, life is like an examination hall. Everything you're doing is to pass a test. Is to pass a test. Just like when a child is growing. When the child is learning how to walk, the child will be making attempts until one day he will start walking firmly. And that is how it is. It's like an examination hall. If you are learning through that process, one day it comes for you to be examined. That situation you are passing through today is an examination. It's just to know whether you are fit physically, emotionally, psychologically. And you have to find a way to move, to pass that particular thing, because it's like a test. Nature is always pushing out things to you to know whether you are learning or you are retrogressing. But the problem is that so many people are seeking external support. And that external support is examination malpractice. That is why I always discourage people that come for charms. I told people, I can do charms because I'm a native doctor. But charms is not the way out. Charms is not the best. Charms can help you solve that immediate problem, but the charms needs you to be doing it, repeatedly. And the more you are doing it repeatedly, the more the pattern is changing. But if you are doing the normal things, the spiritual exercise you are supposed to do, you don't need charms. If you know how things work, you will realize that sacrifices are better than charms. Sacrifices on your daily communion with your spiritual forces is better than you using charms. So that is why if you're an African, you can't live like the Europeans. You can't live like non-Africans, because Africans have something that their ancestors did with the land. That covenant that they made with the land will remain forever. You can't change it. You can't change it. And what is that covenant? The ancestors told the land that as long as their offsprings will keep the bloodline, will keep maintaining that covenant, that the blessings will be upon them. If you're staying abroad and you have family members in Africa that are suffering, you don't know what you're doing there. I didn't say you should start bringing them to come and stay with you there, but let your staying there make a meaning in their lives. There are some of them that don't want to travel with you abroad there. And I didn't say you should start spending the whole of your fortune, how much you've suffered, to start spending it on your family members or relatives and all that. No, that's not what I said. I said let a token from you be coming to Africa. How can you be part of building Africa when something from you that you're staying abroad doesn't come to Africa? So that is it. So that is why I'm making this video. Don't forget home. People like us don't want to travel anywhere. I want to stay home because this is where I want to be. But I don't want to start discouraging people from traveling. No, traveling is part of life. Traveling is part of education. If I have the chance to travel around the world, I will do it. But I'm not going there to go and, me personally, I'm not discouraging anyone. But wherever you are, do not forget home. Religion is borrowed. Religion is borrowed. Your ancestors didn't practice religion. What they practiced was spirituality. And what is spirituality? Spirituality is about venerating spirits. And how do you venerate spirits? You venerate spirits by coming in contact with nature, knowing that the life we're living here is, even when you die, you're not dead. Your spirit will still come around because that's the environment where you came from. And we don't know how many times you're going to come and go and come back, which you call a reincarnation. We don't know how many times you're going to go and come back. But each time you are coming here, there's a reason why you came. There's a problem you are coming here to solve. If you've watched this video and you find any confusion in what I said, you can chat me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 090-4011-3281. And I also do Alpha consultation. Alpha is something that has marveled even me myself. How somebody do something a long time ago and Alpha will reveal it is still so surprising to me. Alpha is a revealer of all truth. Alpha exposes everything that is done secretly. You can chat me on that WhatsApp number. I will repeat that number again, 090-4011-3281. Till we see you in the next video. Thank you for stopping by. Yagazie.